Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is finally attempting a breakout in the short term above this critical resistance. But while this is happening, the whales are closing hundreds of millions of dollars worth of long positions for not just Bitcoin, but also Ethereum, which is an important signal we need to pay attention to. So I'll be talking about that later in the video. Definitely watch to the end. First of all, just giving you a really quick update here on the weekly Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is attempting a breakout above this important area of resistance, which is still sitting in between around 36,000 to 38,000. And obviously, just recently, we have seen a move in the price of Bitcoin just above 38,000, but with that being said, we still need to actually confirm the breakout on the weekly time frame with at least a weekly candle close confirming a decent bit above 38,000. And if that happens, if we do end up confirming the breakout on the weekly time frame above 38,000 by seeing weekly candle closes above that level, then potentially this area of previous resistance could become new support. And the next important resistance level based on Fibonacci levels here on the weekly time frame would be sitting at around 42,000. And above that level, we have much more resistance at around 48 to 49,000. And once again, those levels of resistance are mainly based on the Fibonacci retracement tool from all-time high down to the bear market bottom on the linear settings. Once again, that places, first of all, the 38.2% Fibonacci level at around 36K, which is where we did find some resistance, but obviously have already broken out above. And that resistance at around 38K was based on previous supports back here in early 2022. And we have the 50% retracement level sitting right at around 42,000, acting as a resistance, which did act as resistance right here and support back here all the way in 2021. And then obviously above that, we have the important golden pocket, the most important Fibonacci level starting at around 48 to 49,000, which was also important resistance back here in around Q1 to Q2 of 2022. And as for the larger trend at play, once again, as I've been saying nonstop since the very beginning of this year, I'm still very bullish on the larger trend here in the price of Bitcoin, like for example here on the weekly time frame, forming significant higher lows and higher highs, which is still the case. And if you're taking a look at the daily Bitcoin chart, of course, we have this previous bearish divergence on the daily time frame, which did result in a lot of choppy sideways price action over the last couple of weeks, but we did not actually confirm any bearish trend reversal signal in terms of the short-term trends here on the daily time frame. And so once again, as I've been saying, this is basically telling us we're due to see a reduced bullish momentum, but we have not yet confirmed a reversal into a bearish trend. So in terms of the trend, we are still looking bullish. But once again, the most common outcomes from a bearish divergence is usually either choppy sideways price action, if not a pullback. And we did end up seeing mostly choppy sideways price action and not any pullback, as I've been saying, because once again, the DXY or US dollar index is still crashing. And so once again, as I've been saying for a while now on this channel, this is a very bullish signal for Bitcoin, basically pointing towards more bullish price action. And so due to the fact that we've seen this at the same time of that bearish divergence, once again, I was not expecting any significant pullback, and I'm still not expecting any significant pullback while the DXY is still dumping. Now, of course, we can see day-to-day volatility, like for example, these short-term moves to the downside, but that's just Bitcoin being volatile. But when it comes to the larger pullbacks or short-term bearish trends like here or this, for example, once again, I would only start to expect that for the price of Bitcoin once we first confirm a strong bullish reversal here in the DXY, which as of right now has not yet happened. So once again, while the DXY is dumping, I'm still bullish in terms of the trend and momentum. But obviously other signals like that bearish divergence basically just slow down the trend and momentum in the short term, but not necessarily confirm a trend reversal. And now if you're zooming out on the daily Bitcoin chart, taking a look at the Bitcoin long positions over on Bitfinex, because what we have just seen over the last couple of days is a lot of long positions just suddenly close over on Bitfinex. In fact, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin long positions have just been closed over the last few days. And now obviously over the last few days, we have not seen a major flash crash to the downside in the price of Bitcoin, liquidating long positions or stopping out long positions. And so what this signal tells us is that a lot of big traders out there, aka whales, are intentionally closing long positions right now, basically taking a lot of profits off the table at these local highs. And the last time we saw something similar to this happen in the Bitcoin long positions on the Bitfinex exchange was all the way back here around the end of March, just after we saw a huge pump to the upsides. And immediately in the short term, we didn't really see anything too much. And we actually saw a little bit more of a move to the upside later on in a couple weeks after that signal. But ultimately, that was the last move to the upside just in the imminent short term in terms of the local highs. And of course, we ended up seeing a short-term bearish trend over the next couple of months after that signal flashed. Of course, after first seeing a small move to the upside. But once again, it is important to understand the difference between the shorter term trends, like for example, these trends on the daily time frame, and the longer term trend here on the weekly time frame. Because obviously we can experience those short-term bearish trends and short-term bullish trends during the same larger bullish trend here on the weekly time frame. So of course, the larger trend has not changed all year long, but obviously short-term trends change more often between bullish and bearish. And so essentially this signal is telling us that the whales out there, the big traders out there, are getting a little bit more cautious on Bitcoin right now. Basically, we might not be at the local high right now. We could have some more room to the upside to go, once again, like what we saw back here. But once again, this signal is basically telling us that we're getting closer towards some sort of local high in the price of Bitcoin, and potentially could see a bit more of a pullback at some point within the next couple of months. But once again, it is important to keep an eye on the DXY, or US dollar index, which right now is still crashing. And if you're looking at this previous example back here in around March to April, where a lot of those long positions closed, during that time period just here, the DXY was still dumping, which meant the price was still going to the upsides. But at the point where we started to see a reversal in the US dollar index, basically a stronger bounce back to the upside in the DXY, of course, that was the bearish reversal signal in terms of the short-term bullish and bearish trends. And now if you're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 8-hour Bitcoin chart, of course, we are still within the short-term bullish trend, forming higher lows and higher highs in this ascending parallel channel that I've been talking about for a while now on the channel. And this ascending line of support is sitting at approximately 36.3k, and this line of resistance is sitting at approximately 39,000. And if you're zooming into a smaller time frame, again looking at the 6-hour Bitcoin chart, we can see the price of Bitcoin is now attempting a breakout above this important area of resistance, which was sitting in between around 37.6k to 38k. And what we have seen over the last one day is, first of all, a couple of candle closes now above 38k here on the 6-hour time frame. And not only that, we've actually seen a small retest of this previous resistance and a small bounce, at least as of recording this video, which is basically telling us that this previous resistance is now acting as new support, which is technically bullish price structure. And so at least for now, considering we are trading above 38,000 with a couple of candle closes and a retest, technically speaking, the breakout for this ascending triangle pattern right now is active. And this breakout only invalidates if we see a confirmed break back below that area of resistance. So basically, if we see the price confirm candle closes back below around 37.6k, that would invalidate the breakout to the upside. And now, considering we do have an active breakout to the upside for this ascending triangle pattern, that sets up a technical price target to the upside, which is sitting at approximately $41,000. And so from where we are right now, which is still close to the point of the breakout to that price target, that's around a 7 to 8% move to the upside in the price of Bitcoin. And now this breakout trading opportunity is happening at the perfect time, because right now this is Bybit's 5th year anniversary event. And right now you can register for this event if you have a Bybit account signed up using the link down below this video. And in this 5th year anniversary event happening over at Bybit, there is up to a $1 million prize pool and a whole lot of lucky draw prizes as well. Because as you can see here, there's a total prize pool of up to 1 million USDT. There's a lot of trading bonuses as well, and also luxury watches and iPhones to be won as well in this event. And basically how it works is, if you come over to here and register for the competition, you enter into a personality-based trading team. And so this is definitely very interesting because that sets it apart from other trading competitions, where with this one, you actually take a personality test and it enters you into a trading team based on your trading personality. And basically with these teams, there's the team competition right down here. You can see the total prize pools, and the total maximum prize pool for the team competition is up to 800,000 USDT. And basically that is split between the top team members in this team. You can have all of that information here on this page. Once again, I'll leave a link to this page in the description down below and in the pinned comments. And on top of the team team competition, there's also individual prizes, an individual prize pool of up to 200,000 USDT, which combined with the team prize pool is of course that 1 million USDT prize pool. And on top of that massive $1 million prize pool, once again, there's also other bonuses in this lucky draw right here. And basically how this works is for every $30,000 in derivatives trading volume during this event over on Bybit, you get a spin for this lucky draw. And as you can see here, there's a lot of different prizes ranging from trading bonuses, an iPhone 15, and even a $20,000 luxury watch. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, like for example, if you're trading this breakout right here, then you might as well check out this huge event happening over at Bybit for their 5th year anniversary. And once again, I'll make sure to leave a link to this page right here in the description down below and in the pinned comment. In fact, it'll be the first link down below this video. And now if you're taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we can see over the last one day, the price of Bitcoin has moved exactly towards this area of liquidity, these liquidations. And if you're zooming out a little bit on the liquidation heat map, we can still see once again a lot of liquidations sitting at around 38.5k to 38.7k. But in case we end up seeing a bit of a short-term pullback, basically if we start breaking back below around 37.8k, essentially if we break back below this previous resistance and invalidate that breakout to the upsides, then in that scenario, in that short-term bearish scenario, if we actually confirm a break to the downside, then I'll be looking towards this zone of liquidity to the downside, sitting at around 36.6k approximately. Because right at around 36.6k to 36.7k, we have hundreds of millions of dollars worth of long liquidations sitting right at around those prices. But anyway, getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the weekly ETH to US dollar chart, and over the last one day, not a lot has changed on this chart right here, because obviously we're still running into that major area of resistance sitting in between around $2,000 to $2,150 and still forming this massive ascending triangle pattern. But if you're taking a look at the 3-day ETH to US dollar chart, of course, this is the price of ETH on the 3-day time frame, and this right here is the Ethereum long positions over on the Bitfinex exchange. And just like Bitcoin, like I said earlier in the video, we have also just seen hundreds of millions of dollars worth of long positions for Ethereum. In fact, around $200 million worth of Ethereum long positions just on Bitfinex close all of the sudden. And if we're taking a look at the last few times where we've seen a lot of long positions suddenly close all at once on the Bitfinex exchange, we can see here on the chart, this happened in around November 2021, right at the exact all-time high for the price of ETH. And we also saw this happen right in around the middle to end of March in 2022, almost exactly at this local high in the price of ETH. And we also saw a lot of long positions suddenly close in around late July, entering into early August 2022, right at around this local high in the price of ETH. And we also saw something very similar in the long positions right in around the middle of November 2022, right at around this local high in the price of ETH. And once again, like I said earlier, for Bitcoin, obviously we have not actually experienced a massive flash crash just recently, liquidating a lot of long positions. And so these traders closing hundreds of millions of dollars worth of long positions are doing this very intentionally. And obviously a long position is essentially a bet that the price is going further to the upside. And so if you're closing long positions, you're basically getting a little bit more cautious on the price, thinking that we may be approaching some sort of local high sometime soon. And now, like I said, for Bitcoin, this does not necessarily guarantee that we're definitely at a local high and we're about to crash right now, but this is a signal to at least be a little bit more cautious right now, because obviously we have already been very bullish for the last couple of months. But once again, I'll be watching that DXY, because right now, once again, the DXY is still bearish, which is still really bullish, basically for the overall crypto market, Ethereum included. And if you're taking a look at the daily time frame, obviously just recently we have seen a perfect bounce from this exact level of support that I've been talking about, sitting at around 1990 to 2010, with the main support at around 1990 based on this Fibonacci level. But if we were to break below around 1990, then in that case we have more support at around 1.9k and even more support at around 1830. And as for short-term resistance, obviously we still have strong resistance at these local highs and also this high all the way back here, sitting in between around 2120 to 2150. And as for the daily Ethereum price oscillators, right now these are still looking relatively neutral, because for example the MACD is not showing a lot of momentum really to either direction, and the RSI RSI has already pulled back out of overbought territories. It's looking more neutral and is basically chopping around sideways, at least for now. And so this is telling us that the momentum is somewhat weak to either direction in terms of the trend here on the daily time frame. So of course, in the price structure, we are still looking bullish. We have not yet broken the higher low, higher price structure, but just in terms of the momentum here in the somewhat shorter term, of course, we are lacking momentum, at least for now. And speaking of the short term, zooming into the 8-hour time frame, of course, while the price is basically chopping around sideways, we are forming this ascending triangle pattern, which I talked about in my last video. And this line of support is sitting at approximately $1,990 to $2,000, so around that Fibonacci level on the daily time frame. And this line of resistance is sitting at approximately 2120. And if we end up seeing a confirmed breakout above that line of resistance, then that would set up a technical price target at approximately 2440. And so from the point of the breakout to around 2430 to 2440, that's roughly around a 14 to 15% move to the upside. Or if we break below that line of support, then that would set up a technical price target at around 1740 approximately, which would be roughly around a 12 to 13% move to the downside. But obviously, at least for now, the price of ETH has not yet confirmed a break of any of those levels. So at least for now, the price is basically chopping around sideways, looking relatively neutral with low momentum. And then as soon as we confirm a break either below that support line or above this resistance line, that is where we can flip much more bullish or much more bearish, depending on which line we break and depending on which price target we set up. But either way, whether we break bullish, bearish, or simply continue to chop around sideways as we are right now, you can make money in crypto in either of those scenarios by watching these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is bullish or bearish using AI, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.